Hi, I'm Susan Sipal. Welcome back to Fantastic Secrets Behind Fantastic Beasts. The theory I'm presenting today is long, coiling, and undulating like an Occamy. It starts at one point and ends in a different direction with just a bit of evidence to back it up. But it's kind of fun and makes sense in the end, so I hope you'll bear with me. Is there a special bond between Jacob and his Occamy that will play an important role in future movies? I explore many mysteries like this in my book, Fantastic Secrets Behind Fantastic Beasts, and hope you will check it out. In filial imprinting, many types of bird chicks will imprint on the first large moving object they see when they hatch. It's curious to me that when the Occamy first sticks its head out of its shell at the bank, the director has it looking directly at Jacob, with Newt not in its line of vision. Perhaps that is why, when later inside his case, Newt reintroduces Jacob to the Occamy, he says, "New Occamy, your Occamy," passing the snake bird to Jacob for him to hold. There is bonding going on all around here. Not only is Jacob bonding with his Occamy, but Newt is bonding with Jacob. Here is a Muggle who protected Newt's lost egg in the bank, keeping it warm in his pocket. Plus, through Jacob's gentle feeding of the moon calves, Newt recognizes a kindred spirit. This bond is later sealed in silver, when Newt gifts Jacob with his collateral in Occamy eggshells. This bond is especially important to remember as we consider that Jacob is the only No-Maj in the team. Jo did not include a Muggle in the main action of Harry Potter. How is she going to have Jacob keep up with the others, especially when Queenie is not around? Jacob, though, has shown himself to be very useful. He breaks down Graves' door to retrieve Newt's case when Queenie's spells don't work. He closes Newt's case during the jewelry store scene when Newt is otherwise occupied, and he punches the betraying Norlac to cheers from all. But there's still the magic thing. However, what if he had an Occamy, not as a human-like pet, but as a Sirius and Buckbeak-like partnership? A magical creature that shifts small enough to be hidden comfortably in his pocket, kind of like Newt's swooping evil, then enlarges into a monstrous beast capable of terrifying enemies, one with wings that a mortal might ride. Jo loves to draw from myth, and we can find numerous examples of gods as feathered serpents, especially in Mesoamerica, where perhaps Quetzalcoatl is the most famous. There are also legendary heroes riding serpents or dragons from various cultures, like the Roman Saturn on his chariot of serpents or the Buddhist Guan Yin on the back of her dragon. But the one I find most curious is the mortal Triptolemus in a Greek myth co-starring Demeter and Persephone. Triptolemus is associated with grains and bread making because as Demeter's messenger, he rode all around the world in his chair powered by a winged serpent to share the gift of agriculture. Perhaps drawing from Triptolemus, it is no coincidence that Jacob is a baker and has a special bond with a serpent bird. I can envision a future scene with Jacob riding the Occamy, similar to Harry on Buckbeak or the DA on Thestrals. Why would Jo reference this myth of spreading agriculture in a film series that's most likely to focus on the devastating conflict of World War II? In my opinion, it's because of another aspect of the Demeter-Persephone-Triptolemus myth, the Eleusinian Mysteries. The ancient world had many mystery religions where believers were initiated into secret schools in order to receive esoteric knowledge regarding union with the divine, the afterlife, and a higher state of consciousness. Initiates were pledged to keep the secrets of their new faith, and the penalty for betraying it could be quite severe. In Fantastic Beasts, Jacob has entered a new world where he's received secret knowledge of power and magic, knowledge he's not supposed to possess. But he has friends. In the Macusa escape scene, when Queenie saves Jacob from being obliviated, she assures him, "You're one of us now." Indeed, Jacob has been initiated into the secret underground world of witches and wizards, and that memory has not fully left him at the end of the movie, though that's the subject of another video to come. However, for now, there's another aspect to the Triptolemus myth to consider. Not only was he the first initiate into the Eleusinian Mysteries, but also one of its first priests. For her new Fantastic Beasts series, Jo created careful backstory through Pottermore and the film, showing the severe prejudice and fear that separates the magical and No-Maj worlds. Indeed, it's so different than the Potter's UK that Newt remarks, I know you have rather backwards laws about relations with non-magic people, that you're not meant to befriend them, that you can't marry them, which seems mildly absurd to me. Clearly, this divide is going to be a main theme throughout the series. Thus, Jacob's No-Maj role in the team is crucial. He's the first initiate into the magical world and will serve as an important liaison between the enemies as the World War conflict that Grindelwald ignites erupts around them. Perhaps, as a man who wishes to bake solely to make people happy, he'll even find a way, like Triptolemus, to use food to restore civilization. Wherever Rowling takes that part of the thread, I expect that as Harry Potter had Dumbledore's army, Fantastic Beasts will have the wizarding equivalent of the resistance movement of World War II Underground, and Jacob will be in a key leadership position. Jo's set to release an updated version of her original Hogwarts School textbook on March 14th. I expect in the revisions and new editions, she'll have hidden clues for the upcoming films. I'm most anxious to see what the Occamy's updated description reveals. My guess is that we may learn more about how it imprints and whether it can fly. Maybe she'll clue us in as to what other magical ability it holds, such as possible means of defense. And I'm wondering if it may also have a sweet tooth and really enjoy Jacob's baked goods. What about you? Do you think we'll see a special bond between Jacob and the Occamy in the upcoming films? Please share your thoughts in the comments. I've got more videos coming, so be sure to subscribe and watch the other videos in the playlist. And check out my book, Fantastic Secrets Behind Fantastic Beasts, at Amazon or your local bookseller. Until next time.